Believe it or not, we are at it again. Fdot and Hindu bringing you the latest and the greatest of the European matches. We've got Panthera coming up for you very next. No, we don't. We've got Cringe Crew and Paradigm.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Now, Paradigm here as well, they need to find at least one win because Dignitas, after that split up against Leftovers, that's tied them up at second place even. So Paradigm, 5-3 themselves, they have a chance to go ahead, but it's not going to be an easy task against Cringe Crew.
Yeah, Cringe Crew, the reason I had Panthera on the mind was because Cringe Crew actually toppled the Titans. Panthera, of course, Titan no longer with us. Panthera suffered their first loss of the season to Cringe Crew with a second string substitute. They brought in Axioz, a new player, to fill that gap, and all assuming it should go even more positive.
Or should it? Because Axioz, new to the Pro League, not competed in competitive, just like Deathians. Deathians had a good performance. Will we see nerves come out of this new solo laner?
Possible.
He's been around the scene for a while, competing on teams like Team Loyal. Actually competed in the Combine in 2015, did Axioz. But his first major debut is going to be against Paradigm. It's not as difficult as, Deathians had it, but it's difficult enough.
How much do we know about Axioz? As you mentioned, he's not a nobody. He's been around the challenger scene, etc.
Been around the challenger scene for quite a while. Very in the meta picks from what I've seen out of him. The Osiris, the Bologna, sort of warrior mentality.
Okay.
So he's not going to be like transitioning into the role or forced to do something that he's not used to doing. He knows this role. We'll see how well he does.
All right, we'll get into picks and bans right here. As Hinduman mentioned, it's all about the meta stuff for the new solo laner. So don't expect to see that Baka Apollo matchup anytime soon. We'll take a look at Cringe Crew as they get first pick. And more importantly, as right now they get the first ban. No Giannis!
No Giannis.
No Giannis.
Well, to be fair, Paradigm's picked that, I think it's twice this season. Once for Lawbster, once for Funballer as well. So just keep that one into account. Neith taken away. They don't want to have to deal with the jungle shenanigans that come from that. And to be fair, Cringe Crew have already picked it 3 times this season.
Exactly. I mean, Giannis doesn't exactly strike me as a Paradigm god, but sometimes you get into a groove as a team, and you just don't like seeing one god, whether it's on a team that picks it all the time or once in a blue moon. The impact that Giannis is able to bring onto the battlefield is something that Cringe Crew doesn't want a chance. And Paradigm say, you know what, that throwing dagger is nonsense. See you later, I'll Apollo. And Chronos is picked up for the CC.
Cringe Crew going to pick that one up. They've actually played that in the AD carry role more than they've played in the mid role this season as well. So I expect to see Shaggyshenk go back to that one. Shaggyshenk, actually, the highest KDA of anyone in Europe right now.
Interesting.
With a KDA of 6.
His
slash line for the season so far is 37 and 24. Funballer, his counterpart, 22, 15, and 43, only 2.9 as he locks in Ho Yi.
We'll see. Ho Yi can make his way to the mid lane. We've seen it once or twice, but Lawbster has traditionally been a mage player. Athena on the side of Cringe Crew. So far, nothing too extravagant. Standard supports, standard basic attackers, whether they wind up in mid or long. And the third pick for Cringe Crew to round out this first half of picks for the CC will be Neith. So still, flex.
The most surprising thing for Paradigm is the Khepri pick. This is not a god I would associate with Trixtank whatsoever. Trixtank, we've already said, very, very aggressive so far this year. He's played Bacchus and Guan. Has had some Geb in there, but Khepri's a lot more defensive than a Khepri.
Might be Qvo.
What, a Khepri jungle? Really? I mean, we could do that a long time ago, but I don't know about now.
There's
that's a
Qvo.
Qvo jungle.
There's Qvo on the Cabrakan.
You say that, however, Xalia's run it this season as well. As usual, Paradigm, you never know where they're going to go until the last minute. Bat's taken away, so multiple shots at the jungler.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Repikas.
yeah, if you take a look at Cringe Crew, there's a lot of ambiguity as far as where Neith and Chronos will land, but there's no ambiguity in the sense that there is no jungle pick just yet. So Bats and Tier will be taken off the table. That is 1 for solo, 1 for jungle. And Bakasura will be banned, thank you.
I was going to say, I expect the Bakasura ban against Xaliea, who will probably run it, but the Tier ban by Paradigm is very smart. Tier does not have a good matchup against a Chronos or a Neith, just because Roots, as well as what Chronos does with the slow and stun, is very impactful against a Tier and can stop him from getting the damage out. The rise of Zhong in EU is back, it seems.
Zhong, to quote my friend Kelly, will be picked here on the Paradigm side. Lawbster will likely be piloting that character, although I think it's...
Could be solo.
That's what I was going to say. Lawbster will, by default, the mid lane is Zhong, but honestly, he's tanky, he's weird, he's Xaliea. I think that's what we find in the solo lane, to be completely honest.
Not always tanky. I mean, he will run the other lanes, but Guan taken by Cringe Crew as well to round out their roster. Guan solo here, Thor in the jungle. and Athena support. So I'm expecting Neith is in mid lane here, coming out from Cringe Crew. And they've gone for Guan Yu solo for the new player Axioz. We'll see how he does up against Chaac Money.
Well, there are a couple of options. No, realistically speaking, Chaac will be taken into the solo lane, and expect it to be powerful as far as the build is concerned. Transcendence, a keystone of what Xaliea considers his Chaac build, and definitely something that makes Chaac a little bit more entertaining come the late game.
Now, this composition as well, the Paradigm have drafted here, Athena's not going to really want to taunt 3 of these gods. Nah. She's not going to want Cabrakan, because Cabrakan can still stun you because he still applies auto attacks as he's taunting, so Athena could end up getting stunned and beat up by that. Chaac is not someone you want to bring to your team.
Nope.
And neither is a Zhong. You don't really want to deal with any of those.
Yep. This composition is, if you took the team names away, Hinduman, I would tell you right now, this is Paradigm. This is, it's weird, because Paradigm has forged a reputation in themselves, or an identity, I should say, not for weird picks in general, although Xaliea gets that weird pick tag. This Chaac solo, this Cabrakan in the jungle, these are hallmarks of Paradigm style.
And to be fair, Chaac for Xaliea this game, he's gone power part at the beginning of this game. He's going for the bully mentality. Hey, Axioz, welcome to the Pro League. I'ma throw an axe in your face. You're going to sit under your tower and press conviction until the cows come home, because I don't care. I'm just going to bully you, and you're going to respect the fact that you're in the Pro League now, and the big boys are way ahead of you.
Oh, without a doubt. That blue stone red pot makes Chaac incredibly difficult to deal with in the early game. However, in the early game, that's really where Chaac's mainstay is. As we approach mid-game, he'll be relatively impactful because his silence really maintains dominance over objectives. But as the clock keeps ticking, Chaac starts waning. He's just not as effective late game.
Talk about power pots as well. Both junglers also gone for that QvoFred. Picked that up at the start, as well as Repikas. No blink online, though, for Quvo. Gone for purification early, which shows that he's really worried about potentially getting CC'd up early game by walls and the roots from Neith.
Already given the poke, Xaliea taking a look at Axioz. It's Axioz, like Cheerios. Death Panther actually gave me that on Twitter.
It's whatever. We'll ask him eventually. He'll probably say it's A.
Oh, no, I asked Axioz. Okay. I asked Axioz, and Death Panther responded, and just kind of assumed it was. I said, hey, good luck in the Pro League.
Like Cheerios.
And Death Panther was like, I didn't make it to the Pro League, mate.
Well, already, Xaliea took away the imps in the jungle there around the fire giant, and then back to lane to put the pressure on. And Axioz on that Guan Yu, giving them respect he deserves against a power pot Chaac. He's just got to back away. He could have potentially cleared the way, but he would have took a lot more poke than he would have liked to in this early stage.
Exactly. That's one of the things that Chaac brings into the solo lane, is just pure clear. You throw the axe once, and hopefully you hit the player, but even if you don't, 1-2 punch out of Chaac, the wave is gone. So Guan Yu definitely can't dance early on against the Chaac.
And with the blue stone as well, you can just see him clear the wave very, very effectively. The dot damage, however, will impact Axioz, but it will also give him heals from the conviction stacking on both defense and offense. Is Quvo looking for a little bit of aggression on Kero in mid lane, but Kero happy enough just to backflip away, and Xaliea continues doing what he's doing.
Yeah, that bully build from Chaac, able to let Xaliea break open the piggy bank of the enemy.
This game is going to be a Paradigm chess match game. And I'll tell you that because of the fact of the picks they've got here and the way they've gone for the start of this game. They're just going to go for lane, wait for mistakes from Cringe Crew, and try and capitalize on them. There's nothing that's going to be too crazy in terms of going for early kills with QvoFred. If he was going to do that, he would have gone blink. Instead, they're just going to go for control, try and steal away balls on left-hand side, which you actually just saw come out from Paradigm there because they've got the pressure on early with that Khepri. So it's just going to be wait for mistakes to happen, farm up, and play better because we're used to playing as a team.
Still with the hits, but there's a large chunk taken out of Xaliea. The ultimate comes out, and that's toast.
To level 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first blood comes by way of solo kill in the solo lane, and a beautiful trap from Cabrakan puts Funball on the board for the first time.
And fantastic. On the left-hand side there is that they were actually baiting the boar pick. They hung around the corner. They waited for Quvo to rotate in. Quvo joins the fight, and they pick up the kill, invade the boar. So this is just clinical Paradigm. Wait for you to make a mistake. Axioz on the right side made the mistake of not respecting the fact Xaliea would hit level 5 first, got punished for it. Left-hand side, they didn't keep an eye on the rotations coming out from Paradigm, so they get punished there as well.
What I love right there is Paradigm just pretty much helped me out with what I said earlier. I said, you know, Paradigm have been known to pick these, not odd picks in general, but these specific odd picks. And the Cabrakan are very important. Let's take a second look at this gank over here and break down a little bit of what I'm trying to talk about. So Cabrakan comes in here, and he's coming in here, but watch how Paradigm plays specifically with this character. Not any god comes in here and burst damage. Down comes the wall, and you see the positioning of Paradigm. Body blocks around the wall, stops him like Bastet Cats. No option, no escape, just pure death.
Not an easy thing to execute what QvoFred just did there. He dropped the wall as the dash was used by EmilZy, so he pinned him with the wall as well. One of the interactions you don't really see too much, but I think Paradigm are one of the first ones to really recognize it, is the wall from QvoFred interacting with Ricochet from Funballer.
Oh, yeah.
Can set up triple bounces very, very easily, or at least give you a bit of more of an RNG factor. Left RP is going to be contested, but given up by Cringe Crew here as 3 members of Paradigm show their face.
Exactly. Not necessarily something that Paradigm picks around, but it's a happy bonus. That Cabrakan wall with the Ho-Yi, that's something I've been doing in casuals for a long time, and getting to see it on the SPL stage is tough.
Shaggy's going to have to rewind soon if he's not careful, but there's going to be a rotation in response. Body block will come out from Trixtank to stop Funballer taking too much poke there. And it was all Funballer that just jumped in with Trix in support, and what did they do? They forced 3 ultimates out the side of Cringe Crew for nothing.
Love the decision out of Khepri to take the body block, not just standard, more important because the escape on Ho-Yi was already used, while Khepri still let him ducked. Making sure that the escape abilities are open is very important.
Very worried for Cringe Crew this game. Already at the start of this one, I expected Paradigm to play this style of wait for them to make a mistake, but Cringe Crew are giving them a lot of respect is the issue. Talking about this left-hand side, pressure again. EmilZy trying to body block some of those shots that are on Shaggy, so Shaggy will be safe. However, they're giving up a lot of respect, and they're being, the word I'm looking for here is reactionary to what Paradigm are doing. They're respecting Paradigm too much. They're backing away from Harpy engagements when they've potentially got a chance to contest, and they're just giving up a lot. And Axioz, well, he's going to have a rough time in this lane to begin with, but he's doing okay for now. He'll be all right. He's Chaac. He's Guan, I should say.
I mean, at the moment. So right now, Axioz just traded 20% of his HP for that wave. Xaliea can do that all day. So basically, Axioz has 4 waves before he has to go home, otherwise he dies.
And when that happens, he loses his ball like he did a minute ago to Xaliea. So Xaliea will continue getting that experience lead, 9-7. And the issue is like, does Repikas go over there to try and gang Xaliea? And if he does, well, you'll guarantee Paradigm will look at the Gold Fury immediately.
At this point,
they'll punch him elsewhere.
At this point, Chaac isn't too terrible to gank. If you get him stuck, he doesn't really have an option outside of the axe throw, which he's going to be aggressive with, and he's going to go onto the tower as well. Dunks down to get the silence, but it's just enough to stop the onslaught of Tallow Assault.
I'm just not sure why Axioz is playing so passive there. After he died, he could have just stayed in there and continued farming. He didn't have to worry after the ult went off. He was never going to die there. Maybe worried about a rotation from the... Oh, I think he's struggling.
Yeah, Axioz having some trouble. Xaliea going to be a little bit nice to Axioz. Honestly,
he's fighting ghosts.
Honestly,
he thinks he's got Zhong coming round there, and he's like, "Get away, Zhong! I'm not interested in you." Feels bad. Respect to Xaliea, however.
Yeah,
just want to point that one out. No, this is a competitive game, right? This is a competitive competition, right?
Yeah.
If I can get 3 kills, I'm taking them. I'll do it in ranked. I'd do it in these games too, right?
Yeah.
But that was really respectful of Xaliea not to just take the free kill. He could have done it, and he didn't.
You know, when it comes down to that, as we watch the trio and duo in middle lane dance, I play to win. I want to see these teams play to win. I get it, and I know I'm going to be the bad guy in chat right now, but if there's a DC, take advantage of it if it's not paused. I say go for it.
EmilZy is under pressure, going to get hit
Great
by
wall.
everything, but get away. Repikas with a good ult, then going to take to the sky. I don't think he's going to look at going back in it. I'm lying. He is, you know.
Landing right on down. Health from Neith. There's the purification. Reppy in some trouble, and only Cabrakan can confirm that kill. Lawbster off of the jungle is 6th.
Axioz, though, making an impact for himself there. There's no ghosts anymore, he says, as he takes out Lawbster. They pick up 2 kills, but Xalia's rotation is going to make a double for himself. Nope. Funballer's like, Ricochet, boys, I'll take that. And now he's under pressure from Shaggy.
The play from Chaac right there. He's ultimately going to wind up with a loss unless he can wait 5 seconds for the heal. Shaggyshenk takes out Funball off screen. Xaliea should be fine now with the old heal working its magic.
Shaggy's going to go over to where the damage is going to, where Xalia's going to jump to, but they're not going to be able to continue the chase. And you can actually see there, EmilZy was only level 6 to that of Chaac, and that's why it was very difficult for him to bring down the kill. But an engagement that was started by Paradigm there, Cringe Crew ended up coming out bigger for me. They got a bit of a better impact in that, especially because Axioz was behind a little bit in that lane. Yes, the graphs say otherwise, but I'm not too upset by Cringe Crew's play there.
Winds up being about a wash. I really like the play out of Repikas. That was Paradigm with a quadra kill into a Gold Fury if Repikas didn't put down Tectonic Rift exactly where he did. Absolutely incredible play coming out from Repi, the former Titan player, definitely bringing this team up just a little bit.
Trix is doing imps. I'm so confused by why Trixtank is over here. As a Khepri, it's very strange to see a Khepri looking at ganking. It's like...
That's why you got to look at the player card.
And here's the issue.
Trixtank.
Here's the issue. Trixtank is an aggressive player.
Oh, yeah.
A god like Khepri isn't really for the aggression. You generally throw out your damage to actually give your team protections. The roots are defensive. Probably the most offensive thing he's got in his kit other than the Abduct. But even Abduct is situationally used because it can put you in an awkward position. And if you miss it, you're dead.
Yes.
And then his ultimate, very defensive. Like, Geb is the furthest we've really seen Trixtank ever go to. It's probably his best Guardian as well, with those shields. And the Cataclysm for engages.
Cheeky play at a Repikas there, drops the wall down to take care of the ricochet from Funball. Very cheeky play coming out from Repi. Cringe Crew trail Paradigm 3 kills to 5, excuse me. Also about 2,000 gold as well. Paradigm off to a quick first step. No Gold Furies just yet, so that lead is brought to you strictly by First Blood and some strong farming. Speaking of farming, Xaliea is making his way to the mid, trying to chase down those mid Harpies.
Mid-Harpies for now, yeah, but they're not going to be available for the time being. Gold Fury being cleared out by EmilZy. They're getting walk coverage. There's Lawbster. Not really scared about the pressure from Repikas and Kero in mid lane, especially with that Helm online. The extra protections he's not worried about. And we're seeing that more and more this season. This Helm is pretty much a staple of mid laners when they're against physicals.
You know, you're seeing a lot of mid laners go this breastplate helmet build, and it's a one-size-fits-all build in the sense that, like, I mean, nobody wants to die triple root coming out from the support. But I think it fits a little bit better on gods like Zhong, gods like Ra, where you can offer some sort of supplemental support.
I can agree with that. There's a funny thing that just happened in this engagement. That's why I just stalled there. So what happened there is you can see that Cringe Crew was setting up for a big play around the back. Trixtank got a good route off to stop them in the engagement, but Axioz, the Guan had made a rotation from solo all the way over and lost almost half a wave to the tower there on that rotation, which allowed Xaliea to put more tower pressure on. So Cringe Crew invested a lot, and one route by Trixtank just swung that back and made Guan fall behind a little bit further there. This was just good play from Cringe Crew looking for an aggression, but Paradigm answering back.
You want to talk about looking for aggression. Two members of Paradigm just literally waiting. Just standing still. They're going to catch Neith out. Root is not going to hit. Slow from Zhong will. Another fantastic wall, but unfortunately it backfires just a little bit, and EmilZy gets caught quite literally between a rock and a hard place.
There is a turnaround though. Trixtank forced to ult. They may still look for him though if there's any further follow-up. You could see the positioning from QvoFred. They're trying to create a zone as a teleport comes in from both solo laners. Trix should go down here to Axioz, who finds himself the second kill in his debut.
Funball can't find the ricochet, so Axioz stays relatively healthy. Xaliea has made the rotation, bringing Repikas and Kero down to half HP. Wants to keep on pushing, but Axioz is on front with Athena. Double taunt into double root. Xaliea in some trouble. Shaggyshenk off of the assist from all 4 members of his squad finds the kill, and now Cringe Crew looking for the first mid lane tower of the game.
No defense Paradigm could really put up here with these 3 members. You can see Cringe Crew set up to go again with the taunt available for EmilZy. They're looking for Lawbster. They'll find Lawbster. They're also looking for, as well, QvoFred, who gets away, but Worldweaver secures the kill from Kero. And next up on the list was Funballer, who survived.
Shaggy very low, just off the mark by a hair with that time rift. He'll be able to heal up thanks to the Chronos passive, stopping it in the first quadrant.
And it was a really good engagement from Paradigm there. They found the pick they were looking for. We saw exactly what I was talking about against Cabrakan versus an Athena. And EmilZy taunted Cabrakan and got stunned immediately in place. The wall comes down from Repikas, well done, but Qvo walls in response and sets up EmilZy to be pinned in. They find the kill on EmilZy, but the problem with that is after that, Cringe Crew realized they could go aggressive as most of the aggression from Paradigm had subsided.
That was a big swing for Cringe Crew, though. If you check out the gold, look at that. Was previously an even 2,000 gold lead, shrunk down to 1,200.
Do not count Cringe Crew out. They were against Paradigm. They took a game off Panthera. They did lose against Dignitas, if you remember that game back then. And actually, talking about Dignitas a little bit more, Paradigm dropped their last game. They split with Dignitas, so we've got an even keel over in this mid-table now. Paradigm not looking as secure for second seed this season as expected.
I will take a look. I think there's a lot of game to be played, but you're definitely right to be high on Cringe Crew. It wasn't their last game, it was the game before, but the last set was definitely where Cringe Crew was able to take out a win.
Against Pantera, of all people, with a substitute, with a coach. Axioz going to clear out the minion wave once again up against Xaliea. He's in a pretty good spot now as well. The breastplate of Valor not going to worry too much. As usual, Xaliea going to go for more damage. Looks like Jotuns is going to be picked up by him. Not Transcendence, which we've seen multiple times before.
No, you'll see the Jotuns come out before the Transcendence. Xaliea wants to max out his CDR before bringing on that power bank. EmilZy's going to get dragged into a stun, and the ultimate will be delayed as Repikas.
He's still pressuring mid lane there instead. Now you got a backflip from Kero. The Axioz rotating into support as well. They were looking for the tier 1 tower. They're not going to find it. As the Hunters over on the left-hand side were even thinking about making a rotation too.
Small play. Repikas drops the wall laterally to prevent the onslaught and then hammers over the wall just in case somebody's able to make it past his structure so he can assist his teammate. I love the positioning of Repi. What a great small play.
Mid lane wall comes out. Trixtank has to ult himself. You don't want to do that as a Khepri if you can have it. You're going to get dunked as well. Trix falls. Xaliea with a good silence though, keeping Axioz in an awkward position. Tremors are making it come up big though from Quvo, but Repi's not done. He was really thinking about going. He's got aggro now. He needs to get away. One more hit. He will die as well to Xaliea, who gets a double. And now Funballer's here. Jumps in. Forces a knockup, but a good sanctuary is now Shaggyshenk has arrived.
Chaac money doing it big in the mid lane. 2 kills for Xaliea. Lawbster's gonna pop the ultimate.
Very well timed from Shaggyshenk. Shaggyshenk's Sanctuary was on point there. He avoided the damage from the Recall Demons and the ricochet from Funballer, which would have killed him.
Kero as well. Good Sanctuaries seem to be all across the board for Cringe Crew. Sanctuary is what looked like a perfect ultimate from Funball. Also gets the knock-up damage immune to because of that. And as soon as that happens, there is a wave, makes a Hunter much less powerful and able to just zigzag out of trouble. Cringe Crew definitely on point with their relic usage.
You can actually see how this game's going already, though. Both teams focusing on the supports, and EmilZy's been picked multiple times by Paradigm, looking for the pick on him as he's the front line. Meanwhile, Trixtank forced to ult himself multiple times in this game already, and still gets picked off afterwards because Repikas is ready with the follow-up to confirm it. And if it's not him, even Axioz is running down on the horse.
Well, that's what you were saying before about how Khepri. I'm making like horns.
You're making symbols.
I'm making like horns with my hands. Khepri.
It's a scarab, it's not got horns.
Either way, we're talking about a god that doesn't strike you, or me for that matter, as a Trixtank god. And we're seeing the over-aggression, sort of, that ultimate has repeatedly been used on Trix.
Well, talk about all is being used. Repikas going in for Lawbster, but an ult from Trixtank will keep him alive. They're not going to burst it. There was Axioz. They get a good start off Quvo, but there's going to be no follow-up. Xaliea in the wings here. They should be able to defend mid lane fine here, the boys of Paradigm, but they have lost their soul, so they're mid laner for the time being.
Still, 4 members here for Cringe. Dancing in is EmilZy. Silenced out. Repi is going to block the enemy off from engaging onto his own team.
Yeah, just an opportunity for Paradigm to play safe. They had to use the ultimate by Xaliea just to keep the tower alive. Otherwise, they would have lost tower pressure there. EmilZy forcing things in the mid lane. Cringe Crew really want to make something happen here, though, but I don't think they're going to find it. Maybe they will, though, with Shaggy rotating.
We'll see. Shaggy's going to come in from the side, but he could get caught out real bad. Trix looking for the taunt, or gets taunted himself, I should say. Repi stunned, Shaggy annihilated. Trixtank no longer here, but same could be said about Kero. Can't make it through that wall.
And now Funball has made the rotation, realizing Shaggy's here. Gonna drop the Suns down and force Cringe Crew back. He's diving into the back. He's Funball. Ricochet into Repi, who's still alive. Purification to avoid the stun. Still in the fight is Funball, but gets taunted by EmilZy. Xaliea, meanwhile, throws the axe and finds 1 kill as Quvo dives the tower with the Tremors, looking for EmilZy. Not gonna find it, though. Quvo's gonna trade himself out. No, he's not. He'll escape.
Here comes Chaac, barking down Shaggy. He's going to dance to the right-hand side to avoid the hit off of Time Rift. There's the ultimate. No rewind available. Got to throw the axe. Shaggyshenk down to Xaliea as the rest of the squad barks at mid lane tower. 500 gold to Paradigm, up 3,000.
Very good play from both teams there. Cringe Crew were the aggressors there. They focused Trixtank, who didn't have his ultimate available. Yes, they pick up Trixtank, but Quvo does the smart thing. Instead of trying to peel for Trix, he's like, you know what, son? You're going to fall. We don't need you anymore anyway, because you've not got your ultimate. So just go back to base, right? While you're doing that, I'm going to focus Kero. I'm going to burst him down, take him out of the fight, and then after that, well, you can see the results on your screen.
Xaliea going into the Brawler's beatstick, not the Jotuns, as we might have predicted. Right there, you can see just how hard Paradigm won that, and that's without the tower off of 500 gold.
Really good position for them there, 3-1 with the kills. And we can see Xaliea. No picture for him. He's a shadow.
No, Shadow is on the last set, actually. The mid laner for
Good call.
Dignitas. Shadow Nightmare.
Good comeback.
Yeah, I got you. Sorry.
6-1 and 2.
DM's a little in my blood.
But to be fair, the Brawler's Beat Stick, I'm actually down for this item that he's picked up here.
Me too. Very
Abilities reduce healing. Conviction.
Yeah.
By Guan Yu.
Yeah.
You've also got you've also got Neith in mid lane, Kero with the Unravel, which will make an impact too.
And Chaac's abilities are the size of the damn lane, so you're gonna hit not only are you not gonna miss that, but chances are you're gonna hit multiple people. A lot of times when you look at the Brawler's Beat Stick, you're like, look, it's intelligent to focus one target. You're not gonna hit everybody, so you got to be careful of who you're looking at. Chaac doesn't have that problem. He throws the axe on the tower, everybody's taking a bite. So it's an actually very, very great pick here.
Because the Axioz now under pressure
Barely
and the lane
heals.
just been pushed away. Well, there's a 3-level difference in them as well because Xaliea picked up all those kills in these engagements too. He's been a nuisance.
Transcendence has been started. 4 stacks on it so far. 6, 1, and 2 on the Chaac. Please, I am relevant money. That's his full name.
He's only relevant for 1. Taunting mid, on to Lawbster again. The whole team collapsed, looking for Lawbster. Sanctuaries himself, though, and gets away from the danger. Good use of the relic.
You know, though, with this Chaac pick, at some point, I mean, I guess it's the same conversation as Enemy. People keep talking down about Enemy. People keep saying Chaac is irrelevant. Xaliea keeps winning with it.
But Enemy's
at what
good.
point do you expect
But
it?
Enemy's good.
Chaac is 6, 1, and 2.
Enemy's good at the late game.
Chaac is 6, 1, and 2 right now.
Yeah.
At what point do you have to start saying, you know what, Chaac's winning games on Xaliea. Maybe he's got something.
How about Ratatoska then, Fdot?
Yeah.
Devios plays it, Omega plays it. Does that mean he's relevant?
Yes.
No.
Relevant, yes. Good, maybe a different
Good
story.
players make the gods semi-decent.
Exactly, and that's my point. You know, at what point do you have to stop saying it? I mean, really?
Not yet. Not yet is the key.
Xaliea and Drelo are the only 2 people out there in the world that respect Chaac.
And you.
Sure.
And you. You only like it because it's Chaac.
Exactly. I'm realistic.
I'm waiting for
about it.
Hebo to come back. Hebo versus Chaac, that'd be your day made.
Pretty much.
In the solo lane.
Paradigm now have complete map control of the objective that they want, and it's Gold's Fury, but Trixtank finds himself again hit by that Thor wall.
They're focusing
Honestly,
Trix really early, and that's what they need to do, because Trix will be aggressive on this Khepri all the time. That's all he ever does, is aggression, aggression, aggression. Pick him off, force him to use the ultimate on himself or a teammate, and then re-aggress afterwards, because you know he's not got it available.
because of how everything seems to be unfolding here, Hinduman, I sort of want to see a Magi's Blessing on Trixtank. Either a Magi's or a Spectral. I want to see an item that allows him to get out of jail.
Xaliea jumps to the back just as the taunt came in. Going to get a silence off on multiple targets, but here's the turnaround once again from Paradigm now. Xaliea played that very well, forcing Repikas up as well. And actually over to the Harpies.
Ooh. Repikas goes up and down right in front of Paradigm. They know that the ultimate is on cooldown and will be on cooldown. So the black and yellow pushing up the mid lane. Curse is real from Trixtank, but once again finds himself lonely as he tries to start a fight. The rest of his team heads towards the Gold Fury, already down to 75%.
But Trix is going to be late to this Gold Fury engagement, and EmilZy well aware of it. As you can see, they're trying to find the pick. A great wall from QvoFred again. His Cabrakan is dangerous. Good tough from EmilZy, though, to stop him out of the tremors. EmilZy taking a lot of poke on the front line still. Will fall down to Lawbster in the end. And the card as Funballer gets a kill on Axioz. Shaggy forced to rewind, but the fight may turn.
Shaggy gets the stun onto Qvo's, got to find a way out to the left-hand side. Repikas, no ultimate available, cannot land down. Kero, full HP. All of Paradigm half, but that doesn't bother. Funballer! Sanctuary stops the kill just yet. And honestly, Lawbster comes from around the corner to confirm the kill onto the mid lane Neith. 4 dead for Cringe Crew. Paradigm 2 wounded to look towards gold. Instead, take off the mid Harpies.
Good play from both Paradigm and Cringe Crew there. Cringe Crew, where they go Fury, they got engaged on. EmilZy did a good job of using the taunt there to cancel out the tremors and get himself an escape route. You actually saw Shaggyshenk help him out clearing the wall to give him the escape route too, which a lot of people don't do with Cabrakan. And then rewinded into a pretty good position. Shaggy didn't fall in that engagement, the only one not to. As Kero tried to stay around the back, but low on mana, he didn't really have anything he could really do with not having much available.
You know, you mentioned earlier as Paradigm picks up the Gold Fury, or at least starts it, Shaggyshenk has the highest KDA in the SPL.
Highest KDA from the Hunter role, at least, with 6 KDA at the moment. He's played Sol, Chronos, and Hoagie is only 3 go-tos, so keep an eye on him. He's having a good season so far, but Funballer was down there, and you just saw him beat down Kero with a fantastic double ricochet.
What did you say his deaths were, though, for Shaggy specifically?
7.
7 deaths
All
in
season.
in 3 weeks. Well, now the 4th week of the SPL. And this completely comes from his positioning. Not only has he played Chronos a handful of times that allows him to go ahead and rewind, but every single fight. Folks at home, watch in the next fight where Shaggyshenk is positioned.
You've jinxed him. You've
There's
jinxed
an
him now.
entire fight going on, and Shaggy sits on the outside like Saturn's rings.
You've jinxed him now. He's going to get soloed next in a second, and you'll be like, yeah, see?
If he gets soloed, that's not what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
in a
I'm
team
talking about during the team fight, during the actual team fight, when there's nonsense going on, everybody's stuck doing something weird in the middle lane or whatever's going on. Shaggyshenk will always be just outside, and that allows him to go ahead and find that little circle. Like I said, there's that ball of the team fight. Shaggyshenk is always here, and that just enables him. Oh, hey guys. That just enables him to find a little bit more safety in these team fights. I didn't know we were here, but
So
yeah.
we've got a pause coming out here. Paradigm up about 5,000 gold here at the moment. 13-9, I believe the kills read as well. So Paradigm coming out of these engagements on top for the most part. I'm glad Cringe Crew have started to step at the beginning of the game. I felt like Cringe Crew were just reacting the whole time to what Paradigm were doing, but we're starting to get to a point now where actually Cringe Crew are quite happy to initiate and force things. If they can keep fighting Trixtank though, Cringe Crew have got a chance. They've got to focus on Trixtank and then force the fight afterwards. But Paradigm just need to not let that happen, and they've done well at doing that so far.
So far. I mean, Paradigm have and they haven't. Cringe Crew have definitely identified early on, and that really is, that's one of the signs of, to me, that this is a higher than average team. When a team is able to very early on, because each Smite game is a different level, you come in with a certain amount of expectation or knowledge, so you understand that Qvo's going to play his Cabrakan a certain way, blah, blah, blah. And you come into the knowledge, or in the game with the knowledge that Trixtank is going to be aggressive. And then how that develops and unfolds, we've seen the same play at a Cringe Crew. Trixtank gets aggressive, wall, double tap, everyone pylon, dead bug.
We're actually getting to a point now as well where all the relics are now online. We didn't mention the relics at level 12, even though most people have gone past that now. We can just go down the list. Double curse on the side of Paradigm. They're really worried about the healing that can come out from this Guan Yu. They've completely shut it down with the Brawler's Beat Stick and with the 2 curses.
Even building into Pestilence.
Yeah, I mean, that too. It's just, well if it is it going to be Pestilence? It could be Bulwark here. But if he goes for Pestilence, yeah, they're really focused on anti-heal. They don't want Guan to go off. They've played a lot with Guan, so they know this.
I mean, we saw it in Season 2. Hell won games. You just pick Hell, and she's a time bomb. Once you get to 40 minutes, Hell just sits there and starts healing everybody with this, not machine gun, but this giant shotgun of heals. Guan, different story, smaller heals, but more frequent. You're sitting there with a submachine gun of heals, and you can turn a game. If the game allows to get late enough for Guan to do that, you just lose. So Paradigm making the right steps towards dealing with that inevitable late game Guan.
I'd really love to see Paradigm hit the gas pedal now. They've got an experience lead, which you can really tell in both the Hunters and the solo lane is the big difference there. But they should be hitting the gas pedal here and looking towards a Fire Giant. Force Cringe Crew to fight at this Fire Giant. They're winning the engagements because of the way because of the way Qvo's playing this Cabrakan. And when if they do get through him, they've still got to get through Lawbster as well and Xaliea. Force a fight at the Fire Giant, or at least bait them into it. Stop resting on your laurels now. I feel like they're waiting for Lawbster to get his stacks online, which is already at 74, so he's pretty much done. Just go and start a Fire Giant contest early. There's no reason to allow Cringe Crew to just farm back into this one.
Sure. I'll agree with that. With 5,000, with a 5,000 gold lead, that's the type of lead that you take to the bank, quite literally. You can sit there and just fight the enemy. It's very hard to fight into 5,000 or 4,700. Thank you very much.
And you saw the invade there coming out from Paradigm. They just stole away the blue buff on the right-hand side. I want to concede more of this pressure from them. Force an issue at least. And if they do send Shaggyshenk over to rotate, Funballer has the option of joining the fight late and cleaning up like he has been doing, or split push to victory and get a tier 1, tier 2 tower.
You know what is interesting to me, Hinduman?
What?
It's Paradigm's composition. They're going to come and aggress onto this right side, but as the game goes later, QvoFred becomes a tank.
They're all tanks.
Xaliea becomes a tank. Lawbster becomes a tank. Trixtank is a tank even by name. Funball's the only carry on this squad.
And Funballer should be sat at the back for the most part of this game as he's fighting with Shaggyshenk in the jungle down the rotations. That's fine, that's to be expected. But Funballer's just going to watch his position in here. He's going to let the rest of the team be the focal point of this game. They've got 3 Hide of the Urchins online now with Paradigm, so plenty of health and magical protections there, which will only get better if they win these engagements more. And you've still got Xaliea, who's doing his Xaliea strat, his usual builds of ridiculous damage, but still great survivability.
Yeah, Xalia's Chaac build, definitely unique.
I would have liked the kills instead of being on Xaliea though, and to be fair, Chuck's for me is good early game, but I would like to have seen him go to Lawbster, to go to Qvo maybe, just to maybe not Qvo, but definitely Funballer. I would like to have had more of the kills. Funballer, Lawbster, the real damage dealers late game they're going to be looking for. The rest are going to be CC bots, zone controllers, frontline tanks. That's all that they're going to be there for.
I can't argue with rather seeing the kills on the Funball. Like I said, he's the only carry, but Xaliea actually really I don't know. I think he's just out here to prove that Chaac has a late game, because with that Transcendence, with the pen from the Brawl Speed Stick, and whatever mace this is going to be, even if it's Titan's Bane, whatever it's going to be built into, will be offensive. And late game Chaac, we've seen it a number of times from Xaliea, he's still able to bring damage somehow.
Trixtank played that so well, and as Qvo blinks in and forces Kero to Sanctuary away, but going to wall him into an awkward spot. Tremors come down, Kero will fall to Qvo, but in response, Trixtank did fall too and still had his ultimate up.
EmilZy stuck next to the wall on the rock. So, two things that I want to bring about QvoFred. One, the more obvious is that when he plays as Cabrakan, look at the wall placement. He's using that ultimate in the exact spots where he needs to be.
He's called a fat Loki for a reason. He is an assassin. He may be a guardian, but he plays it like an assassin from the jungle. And Qvo, very, very good at his placements of the wall, the tremors. He's very good at this guard. He's one of the only ones that really make it work in the meta still.
Well, and that's exciting for two reasons. The reason that QvoFred is able to pull off this assassin play without the assassin damage is because of his attention to geometry. Xalia's in some trouble. Pops him in the ultimate for the damage mitigation. Ultimate out of Thor as well. He'll be coming down, but where is he? Right on top of two immediately. No more Berserker's Barrage. Great play from Paradigm to stop the onslaught of Repi.
But they're still going to keep going in here. Cringe Crew forcing the rewind out. Shaggyshenk, though, back to a safer position. Qvo back on the front line once again. Going to get a good stun off of Repikas. The wall hits 3, but there's no real follow-up just yet. There's a lot of poke hit onto Funballer, who had to disengage thanks to Shaggyshenk and that time stop.
Qvo going to be saved by Trix at the last moment. Beautiful play by the support.
Messy fight.
EmilZy now.
Messy fight from both teams. You can see that it went one way, back to the other, and once again, Paradigm on the aggression, but they're going to get poked down, and it'll get turned on by Cringe Crew, and then Cringe Crew will run back into him.
Strong Shell not going to be enough as Shaggyshenk takes down Xaliea. Everybody at Paradigm very low. Cringe Crew looking for Lawbster. Repikas awaiting. Gets the tap. Not the double, though. Both players that Repi aimed at will survive. This fight has been going on long enough for 2 ultimates. Coming from this side, there's the stun. Shaggy takes out one. Kero takes out the other. 3 members down for Paradigm, 0 down for Cringe Crew thus far, and that's the end of the minute or 90-second fight that we just witnessed. Paradigm lose 3, Cringe lose 0.
They lose a lot in that engagement, but nobody comes out on top realistically in that. Axioz had to go back to base there as he was low, didn't have teleport. If he had teleport, he could have teleported back to the Gold Fury, healed them all up, done the Gold Fury, Cringe Crew come out on top. But what you actually saw there was the initiation, counter initiation, counter initiation, counter initiation, and nobody wins. Is the biggest story there. The healing though from Axioz was not that impactful. Can we check healing done? I want to say that's really it's not as high as we want to do. It's 10,000 still, but it's a lot lower than you've seen at Guan at this stage of the game before. But look at this, Firejet started.
Cringe Crew just going to the bank. Gonna look at the horse for the stun, and Shaggyshenk able to take out Trix way before Paradigm wanted. Trixtank had ult, didn't even use it. Repikas, on the other hand, certainly does. And Xaliea stuck, stunned, nowhere to go. Berserker's Barrage takes out the solo lane Chaac.
You can see Lawbster, Funballer just coming back now. Qvo is round the back, has Blink available. Qvo's going to do work here. He pops some poke on Shaggy, which gives away his position. They turn their attention to him, dropping the Fire Giant momentarily. Qvo stunned, but so was Shaggy. Shaggy trying to find the in-hand. Repi gets the in-hand himself to secure the kill. Luckily, though, the damage dealers for Paradigm are back.
EmilZy's taunt on cooldown, but as you said, the carries for Paradigm here and ready. This Fire Giant was maybe a step too soon. The damage from the ultimate out of Athena is going to be used. Fire Giant, half HP.
Lawbster going to ult in, use Purification early as well. The burst from Lawbster was huge. Funballer now joins the fray. Going to put some poke pressure on, but gets a crit by Kero and has to back away with Purification, but Repi's going up.
He's going to land and not hit Funball. Funball gets smacked, but Trixtank appears out of nowhere.
Meanwhile, Lawbster still in this fight on the side as Axioz comes back in for the healing with the Guan Yu. The Fire Giant, however, stands at the moment. Paradigm did what they needed to and hold the Fire Giant.
Well played by Paradigm. QvoFred trades his life to defend Fire Giant. I'm sure Paradigm will take that any day of the week.
I mean, they had to sacrifice lives for that, fine. You saw what Qvo did. Qvo actually, he went in early, but he did that so early they didn't want to see anything risk happen. He was like, okay, I'm going to poke them. They're going to turn on me. Great, cool. They relaxed, which allowed Lawbster and Funballer to come back. And Lawbster played that so well. Lawbster played that very, very well. He even picked up a kill in that engagement, which was a very, very big pick.
You know, intelligence from Qvo as well. You mentioned how the little bit of poke on the Shaggyshenk gave out Qvo's position, right? And allowed Cringe Crew to go ahead and chase. That's fine. If you sit there and you wait.
Look at this aggression, though. The Fire Giant was started. Now he's turned around. Axioz forced below half. A wall from Repikas. Defensively used a good wall placement there for the time being. But teleport is down on Axioz, so he can't really look to go back to base. If Paradigm realized that, though, they probably would have forced his Fire Giant. They don't, and that's why you see Trix returning. Fun, chill.
Fun ball. Kieran understanding everything about the geometry. No intention of following up.
He's from the UK. We're all good at pool. That's all it is. We're just all good at trick
true.
shots.
Marcus Reels destroyed me at Worlds.
Oh, he's okay.
Reels destroyed me at Worlds.
He's all right.
I was able to dance with you, though. You still beat me.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, Hinduman definitely beat me, but I held my
I like this call, though, from Paradigm. They've got enough members over at Figen. They've got Gold Fury, War Control there. So you see Funballer start up. You notice, though, that immediately when he saw them all rotate to fire, he thought about leaving it, but then his boys were like, no, listen, you're fine. Nice ricochet usage there for the double tap. If you didn't know that one at home, you can do that. But now Cringe Crew have control and Paradigm on the defensive at fire, but they will get a gold out of this unless Qvo falls down.
Absolute free gold for now.
Taking his time, though, is Funballer to do this. It will take him a little bit of a while. At half health, so he needs to heal back up again. We'll recall back to base there and use that gold to effect, as well as get his health back again for the next engagement.
That was the freest Gold Fury we saw. Brandon mentioned it earlier, and no reason to even bring it up. Lawbster in a lot of trouble. Going to go ahead and get smoked after the fact with Kero. Double stun.
Xalia's now isolated here. Already used his ult. Has to try and dash away back to it, but they've already protecting it at the backside too. A Cringe Crew. He will jump back, but he's still going to get tied immediately by EmilZy and picked up too. Very well played by Cringe Crew. They waited for Trixtank ult to wear off on Lawbster, hit him with the World Weaver, deletion of Lawbster, deletion of Xaliea. Now they can push for a Phoenix.
We've seen a lot of patience coming out from these squads, and the patience has paid off, whether it's sitting by the axe at the last possible moment for Xaliea to go for it, or to wait out the sanctuaries. Both teams have been very patient and very importantly so. Shaggyshenk taking the tower with the sanctuary. Smart move there for the long lane Hunter on the mage this time around, and Cringe Crew will secure the first Phoenix of the game, despite being down at the time. Almost 5,000 gold short in that lead, as you can see the sharp turn. 1,500 Cringe Crew trails.
And the focus from Cringe Crew this game has changed. If you've noticed, they were all about picking off Trixtank early. As this game's gone on, their attention has switched to QvoFred. Every single time they see him, they're going for the taunts on him and trying to find the pick. In the end, Trix is having to use his ultimate in some way. We saw Lawbster end up getting ulted, but they wait for it to wear off. So Trixtank is not really a factor in this game for me right now. They've done the work, Cringe Crew, of keeping Trixtank away from this game, of being a big subsidiary part of it.
Trixtank has been a big part when he's completely outside of the fight. That's when we see him. You're 100% right. The second Trixtank shows his face, he gets annihilated. And Cringe Crew have paid less attention to him in the late game because of the build.
Bot. They've just turned him into an ult bot. Trixtank is only there to ult now. He's not been able to be a front line. He's not been able to force the aggression like he likes to. He's been trying to find roots and then knock abducts. I'd like to see Paradigm give Trixtank something more aggressive again. The Geb is a lot more aggressive than a Khepri, and it just doesn't seem to fit their style, Paradigm, for me. It's just not their style, unless the other members are going to change their strategy about how they're going to play things. They really need. I think that's what they were looking for here. With having a big tanky front line means they don't need Trix to engage for them. They can have other members do it, but it's still hit.
Cringe Crew started the Fire Giant. Now they will leash it and look for the fight against Paradigm. No take.
This is just patience from Cringe Crew now. Mid lane's going to push with fire minions going down. Left-hand tower is going to fall for free on that left-hand side there. There's a minion wave pushing in, so eventually that tier 1 tower will fall on the left. As EmilZy looking for taunts, but Funballer very, very quick to react with the jump over the wall.
Smooth play from Funball. I like that a lot.
Games in Europe seem to be, I mean, to be fair, games in both regions at the moment seem to be going this way of a Fire Giant dance that goes on for a while. Because both teams are very, very well aware of what's going to happen on the line, as Funballer has to leap away immediately. He was on the front line then. Funballer's going to watch that as the major damage dealer. At least he got away, but he's got to be very careful.
Yeah, going back to what you were leading into is a Fire Giant victory here could mean the game victory this late, and it means you taking out a couple of players, you bark down a Phoenix or two, and all of a sudden you can just look at the Titan. So both teams well aware of what's at stake.
But Paradigm, their engagement here is pretty much QvoFred. You don't want Lawbster to run in and just go, and try to deal damage. You can't really let Trixtank do that, because if he finds the abduct, great, but he'll get picked off like he has been.
Cringe Crew have to be careful in this corridor between Ho-Yi and Cabrakan. That's exactly where Paradigm wanted to fight. Cringe Crew have the map control by pushing up into Paradigm's half of the territory of the game, but Paradigm are actually very content with that.
It's a good point.
You stick in this little corridor, that's exactly what Paradigm want.
QvoFred will be happy to wall you in. The difference is, though, Repikas has been on point with his walls in response to make sure his team managed to get out most of the time and just buy them a second to readjust the positioning. But you are completely right, Paradigm are trying to funnel them through that gap. And EmilZy's recognized this now. EmilZy zoning away multiple members in the back. He's probably going to sacrifice himself here, but it'll give him a Fire Giant. And I think Paradigm know.
Yeah, Trixtank realized it at the last moment, uses the abduct to get in there. There's the Suns, but Cringe Crew don't care. Fire Giant goes to Cringe Crew. 5 members of Paradigm still fighting against the big belt. EmilZy takes a whole bunch of damage. There's the wall we were looking for, and there's the silence and a Chaac. EmilZy, Fire Giant, and all will fall down. Xaliea credit for the kill. All 3 members and 4 separated from Axioz. He's in trouble.
Dashes back to his teammates to get away. Axe over the wall from Xaliea. Lawbster tries to put some pressure on. Still Paradigm march forward, looking for a potential play. Blink from Qvo, though. I think he found someone on that right-hand side. No, he did not get the stun. And so Cringe Crew retreat, realizing they lost the support. They get the Fire Giant, but the Phoenix in mid's going to fall. Paradigm lose the engagement.
Yeah, Paradigm wind up on the bottom of that one, despite the kill that they do wind up picking up onto EmilZy. Fire Giant goes the other way. Phoenix goes the other way. Lawbster now Sanctuary active no longer. He might go the other way, but Trixtank one more time shows up from the outside, able to get the ult, but patience pays off. Repikas will take it, and Lawbster goes the other way. Cringe Crew now up 2 kills.
2 things there. The exorcism from Lawbster healed him, so he got even more health back, which kept him alive longer. The ult was actually on point from Trixtank. He was only 1 hit from death, so he had to ult when he did. But Lawbster healing at the same time was like, wah, 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 and they just put the wall down, wait for it, and then pick up the kill again. Cringe Crew potentially going to take a game off the number 2 seed. Actually, the number 1 seed going into the World Championships. Paradigm here as well. This is another one to take under the belt, again with a new solo laner.
Game's not quite over. Gold still very, very even. And at the moment, this is pretty much the last moment where that gold will be relevant. But the fact that it's even, folks, is definitely the point that you want to look at. Fire Giant around the waist of Cringe Crew as they engage on the left. Phoenix furthest from the Fire Giant. Shaggyshenk already brought down into his rewind. Repi on top. Falls onto QvoFred. Here comes Xaliea, 2 stunned out, and Shaggy gets the kill onto the jungler, but he's in trouble himself.
He gets out. Shaggy gets out as Axioz tries to as well. Gets abducted back in, still has aggro. The heal's going to be good enough for a second, but not long enough. Phoenix still alive as Funballer picks him up, and now they're looking to retreat Cringe Crew here. They really want to assault against these 2, but the dual lane of Paradigm have held strong for now.
Trix finds the grab, but it's period out. Trix taking some trouble, forced into ulting himself. Again, not enough patience on the side of Cringe Crew. They go ahead and pop the Khepri bubble, and Trixtank is back for another fight. P.S. Phoenix still stands for a moment.
Solo, it will go down now as Shaggy comes back in. They get what they came for, Cringe Crew. They lost Axioz, but it's not all doom and gloom as they did take out a Phoenix, Xaliea, and QvoFred in the engagement. Cringe Crew only have 1 lane to really look to assault.
If that Phoenix did not go down, that play would have been fantastic from Paradigm. Yeah. Cringe Crew get exactly what they were looking for.
I love what Qvo's doing, though. He purificationed early, realizing it to get through a lot of CC in the beginning, but he charged at Kero. Kero, who on that Neith, you cannot root a Cabrakan when he pops his 1.
Right.
You just run straight at him, force the engagement. This is some of the times that you see the Cabrakan pick here, and force Kero to just get away from the engagement. Qvo did what he could, but Repikas for me, once again, his /9 doesn't look as good as it should be for the way Repi's been playing this game. Lots of ultimates, lots of good walls, lots of engagement.
That's what the 14 is for. Too many people stop reading after the first 2 numbers in a /line. 4-3 is nice, but 4-3 and 14 is the representation of what Repi has been doing this game. Repeatedly assisting his team defensively and offensively. Repeatedly setting up the kills on the Trixtank. Every single early game kill that was a part of Cringe Crew's entire strategy came out of wall from Repikas.
least 17 of these kills have had an assist involved in them. Look at the whole team. They've all been involved in these 17 kills. So it just shows that Cringe Crew are playing as a unit. Paradigm across the way, 18 kills for them. Yeah, it's pretty much the same sort of story there as well. It's been a very close game back and forth, but Cringe Crew, they've tactically come out on top of this.
Yeah, Cringe Crew behind on the back foot for a long time this game. Do find themselves up 4,000 gold in about 3 kills. As we said before, 43 minutes into this one. The gold is largely irrelevant, but the gold does tell the story of Cringe Crew coming from around the bend and creating the momentum they need to possibly take this game off of Paradigm.
And we're getting into a crazy luxury item situation now. As you can see, Shaggyshenk here has pretty much the build you'd love to have as any Chronos player at the moment. Really good situation with Spirit Desolation online as well. Rototehui, Polynomicon. He's just basically got everything he wants, and most of those items have been traded out as the time's gone on just because the game's going so long.
You know, I'm a huge fan of the Spirit Desolation. When it first came out, everybody who was anybody was buying this item just because of the large numbers on it. Big power, big penetration, fantastic, boo you. But when it comes down to Chronos specifically, Time Rift is on such a short cooldown that if you get a kill, it instantly comes back up like your Thanatos. So it's a fantastic item on not all mages, but I do love it on Chronos.
So they're going to get the Fire Giant again here, Cringe Crew, this time uncontested by Paradigm. We're in a really position to do it. They do hold their Phoenix in mid lane, though, from the Fire Minion wave coming down, but I think Cringe Crew are going to say something about that as they start marching towards it themselves.
This could be the final fight of the contest, folks. Make sure you pay attention at the moment. Kero and Shaggyshenk leading the way. They're going to play it safe and let others go ahead.
Listen, we say this, but we've seen so many games go this late and then turn on its head completely. Denial versus Luminosity yesterday is an example. Hold out. If you're a Paradigm fan, you may still have a chance here.
Well, my point, Hindu, is that it can go the other way as well. If Cringe Crew loses this fight, Paradigm can march right down the middle. It's 44 minutes in, and here comes Quvo. A lot of trouble. Khepri ult is going to save the life, but the wall from QvoFred was good enough to keep the enemy off of the Phoenix. Down comes Repikas, looking for more. Kero and EmilZy in trouble, and there's Chaac. Takes out the kill, takes out another one. Funball with one for Xaliea. 2 dead on the side of Cringe Crew. Paradigm coming down mid. What did I say?
No, I think it was me that just said, hold on, right? Because I was like, there's still a chance, but that was a really good play from Paradigm. Once again, Quvo initiates for the team. Quvo goes in, takes a lot of damage early on. They nearly pick up Shaggyshenk before the rewind, which would have been even bigger a win for this team if they would have found that. But instead, Quvo gets ulted by Trixtank as well to keep him alive and force him to focus a different target.
But there we see the other side of the wall. So many times this game we've seen the trap. Put the wall down, you can't escape, right? This time around, the defensive aspect. Cringe Crew come up the wall, and who are the 2 people that are going to take out that Phoenix? Kero and Shaggyshenk. The wall comes down, and it prevents the enemy from attacking. The defensive application of the wall out of QvoFred was absolutely imperative to that play in the mid lane, and virtually the only reason that Cringe Crew did not take it down.
I actually feel like what they need to do, Paradigm, is just focus Repikas now. EmilZy, you just got to deal with the taunts. They come in every single time. Yes, go for Shaggy if he's available, but if not, pick up Repikas, because once he's gone, CC reduces a lot on this team that's going to be impactful against you. Paradigm get a tier 2 tower in mid lane. Golfy is not available just yet. They need to defend left-hand side as well. So Paradigm hold for now.
Yeah.
This is not a comeback. This is not a throw just yet. This is Cringe Crew made a mistake, but they've not been able to be punished too much because they've kept enough members alive.
You know, I don't have it in me to call that one a mistake, Hindu. I think that was fantastic play from Paradigm. They utilized your composition absolutely perfectly.
Agree, but Cringe Crew, for all intents and purposes, every single time that's happened so far, they've answered it. They know how to deal with this. They've dealt with it all game, and then that one mistake.
See, that's the thing. Like I said, the wall was used defensively, not offensively. Little bit of different flavor there coming out from the guys on Paradigm.
But look at this, though. All 10 members of the game now back alive. They're going to push on mid lane again, looking for the Phoenix. 3 members still with Fire Giant for a little while.
Can they do it again is the question as we
minute.
observe Paradigm. Gold irrelevant, kills irrelevant. The only thing that matters right now is this team fight heading down the middle lane.
If Paradigm do the same as what they just did, they are back in this game. The Fire Giant will respawn, and we could see it go. But look at this, already bursting his Lawbster. Forced of ult, Quvo blink, jumps in, gets a good wall off on 3. They're looking for the pick there. They will find one on Shaggyshenk before he can rewind. This fight could go either way.
There's the offensive wall this time around, and everybody on Cringe Crew in trouble.
Oh,
all health bars, red, yellow, or dead. Quvo pick up EmilZy, 2 dead on the side of Cringe Crew. Everybody on Paradigm, full and ready to go. Trixtank gets credit for the kill on Kero off of the assist of, well, everybody. And with Axioz and Repikas, there's not a lot of people here to play defense. 60-plus seconds on everyone.
Okay. So Xaliea goes back to base, gets instant full health, teleports back to the game. He's going to be the frontline tank for the team. Repikas and Axioz need to burst down the squishy targets. Otherwise, this is going to be game here. They've got to try and work this out the best they can. Juggling aggro by Paradigm is important. They've got 30 seconds until Shaggy's up. You can hold for 30 here, Cringe Crew, but it's not going to be that easy. Paradigm may make a mistake, though, and if they do, Cringe Crew can end in response. It's about defense.
A single Phoenix is all Paradigm needs. They're going to look at the Order Titan, 10k in health. Repikas lands down. A lot of deaths on the side, or a lot of potential deaths on the side of Paradigm. Half health for the Titan.
3,000.
Down to 25%. Axioz takes out
2,000.
2. Lawbster only one alive.
Lawbster.
1,400,000.
I told you! I told you!
Defense.
If they can defend, that is it. That's all we swung around. Axioz and Repikas, the team are respawning. You've got 60+ seconds.
Game.
Paradigm lost a
Game.
2v5 engagement and will be punished with a loss to Cringe Crew, who, to be fair to Cringe Crew, this was their game.
Yes.
Paradigm fought hard, got the way back into it again, but no, Cringe Crew will jump to victory, as Shaggyshenk will. They're also happy. Now look at them like,
What
woo.
a fantastic performance from Cringe Crew and a well-deserved win against one of the top European teams. This has been a long time coming because it's a 50-minute game, Hindu. Paradigm was able to play the early game as their picks dictated, and honestly, Paradigm made some intelligent calls. It wasn't just the composition, but come late game, Cringe Crew was able to identify what was making Paradigm win, and it was the Trixtank. They were able to identify what was making Cringe Crew fall behind, and they capitalized. And more importantly, they were able to identify what was winning them team fights. They capitalized. Cringe Crew come out, win the final defensive set with just 2 players, Repikas and Axioz, and take the win against Paradigm.
Probably the most interesting end to a game I've seen. Other than the Giannis dropship, the original Giannis when he first came into the meta, that has got to be one of the closest games I've seen. Closer than the Cloud9 throw.
Ooh.
Back in the old days. But this is where it all began, and this was Xaliea, who bullied Axioz early, as you'd expect.
Yep.
Gave him punishment, but Axioz, like you said, it was him and Repi that held the base at the end. Axioz had a very good performance today. Very
Honestly,
good.
if any other 2 players were missing, players is the wrong word, I actually mean characters. If any 2 other characters on the side of Cringe Crew actually were alive, I don't know if that's the same outcome.
Oh no, Shaggyshenk. Shaggyshenk on Chronos. Chronos would have made a big impact on the engagement. Rewind, as well as the stun on multiple targets.
Is the key.
Which also lowers attack speed as well, which is going to be an impact for defending the Titan as well. I think Shaggy can, and Shaggy made an impact in the game anyway. Like, let's be honest.
That's what he did for the entire 48 minutes of this one. Shaggyshenk on top of his game, and you know he came into the scene playing Hunters with Transcendence, which was a little not what was considered meta or okay, and Shaggyshenk blazed away. Now he's doing his thing on the Mage Hunters. Much more meta this time around, but still blazing the path forward on this Chronos.
And credit to Paradigm. I mean, Paradigm's engagement at the end there, they found Shaggyshenk before he got the rewind off, which set him up for that potential win. It was just the defense that came out from the last 2 members of Cringe Crew. Cringe Crew must be so happy with themselves, man. They lose Zashu, they have to face Panthera, they somehow get a win against Panthera in a potential base race, and then, actually, Cringe Crew can only win when there's crazy fights. That's it. There was a base race against Panthera, and then this could have gone either way multiple times. And you just can't count any team out right now. That's a scary thing in Smite. Whatever the situation is, however much up against it you are, people can come back, and it's been proven.
Europe and North America have both been extremely exciting in that regard as far as just the pure competitive nature of the situation. And you know what? That was an incredible offensive set coming out from Cringe Crew. I want to see it again. Bring it up, please, and thank you.
I want to see the defense at the end here. So it's 2 members. Repikas goes up, and who's his focus on? He's looking at a damage, sorry, just someone who's dealing damage, which is Funballer. And there's the hypercar. You can see the ult comes out from Trixtank, but they're all getting very, very low. The wall stunned 2-3 members. Berserker Barrage with the passive gives extra damage off, and their body blocking is the big thing there as well. It doesn't look like it, but they're eating so many of those shots in that engagement. Eating every one of those shots is less damage on the Titan, which keeps it standing.
The raid leader in me is internally screaming. There are 2 members of that defensive set that deal AoE damage in a circle. Spread out. Had
It's true,
Paradigm
it's true.
simply spread out, that win would have been dressed in yellow and black instead of orange and black.
I
But
agree.
Cringe Crew wind up on top.
But